Hi Zendan family, welcome to our reading this week. My name is Victoria, and this week we're going to be pulling from the Avalon Oracle messages. Before I go into that, I wanted to let you know I will be in the shop next month. I believe it's the 26th and the 27th of August. So if you are looking for an in-person reading, I will be doing those that weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. And as always, feel free to come in. We are so happy to show you around the shop, help you pick out birthday gifts and other items for your ceremonial and magical needs, or just for knowledge and information. We have a lot of great books and tools in the shop. So this week we have the moon in Scorpio right now, and it will be finishing up in probably the next 24 hours and moving into Sagittarius. But we may be feeling that deep-seated emotions coming up for transmutation. And these are pretty tumultuous, I would say, and long-term patterns and feelings and emotions that are being brought to our face and forefront for that clearing at this time. The sun is in Leo, so there has been that square between the sun and the moon, it's that half moon, and it is a very powerful time for harnessing that energy between the sun and the moon and cutting through obstacles in the most harmonious way possible. But a lot of times when it is a square, you do feel that that coming together, like at the point, and one direction kind of has to yield to the other. You guys have to find the directions, have to find the appropriate denominator to move together, or one has to completely move out of the way for the other one. They have to take turns. So you may find that there are different issues coming up that are one's having to take a presidency over the other during this time. We are moving out of that in the next 24 hours though, and we will be moving into a trine, which is a little bit more easygoing. But the squares are always good for transmutation and confronting things in life that are necessary. And it can be done in a respectful, clear, and not always comfortable way, but appropriate way. That's better. Discerning way. So just keep that in mind when squares come up. They are our friends. They are. So right now, in the cards that came up, the first card that came up was love. So love. And this card, when you see it, it has a staircase. So what are we building a bridge to in our life with love? It could be all types of arenas, but ultimately, when I speak of that love, I'm talking about that like the unconditional love, the grace, the pure love, the foundational love of life. And I'm going to just read a little bit from the book because I thought it was really beautiful how it spoke of love in this way. So, this marker reminds you to show kindness and compassion to all whom you meet on your path, be it a beggar on a street corner, a coworker, a family member, an animal, or a plant whose leaves need pruning. This marker asks you to shift perception from yourself as a solitary person on the earth to one who's part of a living system. Love is what made you, so keep it flowing. Remember to receive love as well. Ask yourself, am I blocking love? This marker reminds you that you are connected to all life as it is to you, and that you're responsible to be the steward of that love of God and Goddess. Love is without conditions. It is respectful, mindful, sees all life as sacred, and acts in accordance. Love reminds you that This very planet is a living being. Love is the very essence of the divine in you, and it sees the divine in others. This is the time to see through the eyes of love and always ask before you act, what would love do? The answer will always bring you extraordinary power. This marker is very fortunate and a transformative omen. So when we act with love, that pure love of existence, the love that, like, when you look into somebody's eyes and you can just see the shining essence of them, you're creating like a foundational net and balance and space for love to move everywhere in life. So keep that in mind. And I thought it was very synchronistic that the other card that came up was fear. So you have love and you have fear. And like, what are we choosing to feed in our life? We've all heard the story of like if we're choosing to feed like anger and hatred, or love and compassion, like what are we choosing? And the interesting other card was the serpent. So when you think of the serpent, you think of knowledge. You think of knowledge of good and evil. You think of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You think, and not to make all those references, but I mean really that knowledge of what's right and true in our lives for us individually and collectively, and as humanity on the planet. Like what is that knowledge that we need to know for our greater existence and involvement individually and collectively? I'm going to read about the serpent because I think it's really interesting, and also the serpent, on the tree of life, it moves up through the path, through the tree of life, and it touches all the paths. So we have to move and experience the paths so we have the knowledge of life and the wisdom that comes with that. And also you have the serpents on the caduceus, right, of Hermes. You have the serpents on the caduceus that Archangel Raphael holds. We've been transmuting that life experience through the knowledge that we've gained through that experience, and it's the transmutation of it where we gain the wisdom, where we gain the wholeness, where we can bring that love in. There's that love, truth, knowledge, love, power, wisdom, the 3 points of the triangle that come together, forming the culmination and a solidity and manifestation of a higher presence. Okay, so the serpent. The serpent's message is one of healing and of gaining knowledge. Whatever situation you're in right now is meant for this purpose. The serpent also reminds you that knowledge is important. Perhaps it's time for you to read a book or take a class in order to gain more understanding of your inquiry, or you may need to ask questions of others who know and who can help you. Ask the serpent and you will be guided to the right answer easily and effortlessly. The serpent heralds success if you follow its signal. The serpent also lets you know that you may be suffering because there are aspects of yourself that are wounded and still need tending. Now is the time for this. Perhaps you need to rest, meditate, and allow the knowledge to come into consciousness. Or maybe you just need to sleep more. Another aspect of serpent energy is that each time you experience a healing or learn new things, you may need to shed your skin to adopt a new one. But don't worry, the serpent says that it's a necessary and beautiful thing. And as I was reading that, I saw the Judgment card, and I saw like us like rising out of our old body and like letting it go, not like dying, but like really becoming our new selves, becoming our new presence, becoming our evolved states of being, and like choosing that love over the fear, and where there's fear, like calling on our guardians of light, calling on our angels to ask how we can bring forth that healing. And like the card said, like reading books for knowledge and what, to gain more knowledge about the subject, or maybe we need to go to like do some therapy and do some, deep inner work, or you know, work on our shadow self and heal those aspects of us and allow them to become tools of empowerment. So yeah, it's a powerful week, and it's a powerful time right now, and we're in that Venus retrograde period, and Venus and Mercury are conjuncting. Probably by the time you watch this video, they'll be conjuncting. It's Thursday morning Pacific time when that actually happens. So there's going to be new insights coming forth that Mercury is going to be communicating with Venus, that inner deep sanctum that is going through that dark shadow period, but it's also going within to gain that knowledge and wisdom from the inner parts of the soul and the spirit. So you can see it's getting a little dark here. So I'm going to go, but I wish you a wonderful day and week ahead. Call in your blessings, release the things that don't serve you, and then let go of the things that you don't need to carry anymore with grace, with ease. You can utilize the violet flame and Saint Germain always. And remember to come back to center. Keep coming back to center. Get out into nature. Keep connecting with her. Grounding. Calling in your inner soul to ground and connect with the planet for healing and grace. All right. And I'm doing readings over Zoom, so if you'd like to do that, always feel free to hit me up. And many blessings to your hearts.